nice. All right. Yeah, I'm gonna go ahead and do a review of the DT 1990 headset. This is the BeyerDynamics 1990 headset Pros. These are currently retailing about $600. You can find them on sale for less than 500 here and there. I think I found them during the Christmas time as cheap as like 525. That's as low as I could find it then. But I've heard of them going down as far as 450 and stuff like that at times when it's got a real big sale. So, oh, you've sent me a Photoshop image. All right. I'll check that out afterwards. I don't have any video editing software, so YouTube, sorry. This is the way it is for now. This is going to be my first official video. And I'm, previewing or reviewing the DT 1990s headset for the first one. And I got a few more headsets, so, but yeah, the build on this is really top notch. Really nice cushions, pretty stiff. Doesn't feel like memory foam. It feels more like almost I don't know. It's a really stiff cushion. But yeah, it's almost styrofoamy, but it's real stiff. But it's not as soft as like your memory foam. But it's get nice leather, stitched leather up top. Got the logo up there, pretty sweet. Everything that you see here is metal casing. It's not plastic like the 990s. The 990s are, yeah, Premiere is very cool, which I want to use, but yeah, I got too many other things on my plate. But yeah, this is all metal. This cap, everything you see here, metal, 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 everything, ring is metal. None of it's plastic. Not even the hinges here are plastic. So, and then they've got this real nice, like, looks like wire mesh in the background there. This is an open back unit. It's not your typical, open back that's extremely, like, you can see inside of it, see the drivers and everything else. This is a very, very tight knit. It almost kind of gives you the effect of being a closed back a little bit, but it still has enough to where it can be considered an open back, which the 1770s are closed back. These are completely open. So the sound is very different. Everybody talks about the build. They like to hold on to that. The build is pretty top notch. I mean, it's pretty swivel based. Everything is adjustable. It's very stiff. It's not loose and feels flimsy. The build quality on this, you could practically, man, you could almost give this a 10 out of 10 for build quality. It's pretty legit. I know that I don't have all the fancy shit in YouTube right now where I'm recording and cutting and taking, a week to get it right and then put it up. I'm not doing all that shit. Just going on what I got here and answering anything that comes in through Twitch. So that's good. But yeah, the only thing that I kind of dislike, if I were to have a dislike about this headset, it would be the wires coming out of the back into the headset here. I feel like sometimes when I'm reaching back for it, you could pull on it and maybe yank it, but it's a pretty stiff wire. It's not too bad. It's not flimsy. It doesn't feel flimsy. So, I mean, it may not be that big of a deal, but it feels like I've got this in the back of my mind. Like I'm constantly, if I grab it, I'm real careful just to make sure. Other than that, if you got a bunch of little ones that like to yank on shit on your heads, yeah, I don't really recommend maybe, having this around them. The cool thing is it comes with a nice wire. It comes with an XLR into a 1/4 inch, or you can have something that adapts into a 3.5 millimeter, 3.5 millimeter, then goes into a 1/4 inch. This is good for going into your amplifiers. It's got a little mini XLR. Let me tell you something though. BeyerDynamics needs to, I would say, work on getting this XLR adapter into this headset. I thought I was going to break my shit when I first got it because the button push is not good enough. I mean, it locks, once it's in there, it locks in there. And I mean, you don't know what to do. Like almost really don't know what to do to get this cable out. So my recommendation to get this cable out is literally hold the cup. It snaps in straight up 90 degrees. Well, yeah, that's right. Yeah, let's say that. Yeah, it's 90 degrees from the cup, and you put your hand on the cup. You push the button and push down within the connector, and then slide out. If not, you will not get this cable out. You'll yank to death, and this thing will not come out. What's up, babe? Alrighty, I'll see you guys. I love you. All right. But yeah, that's the one thing they need to work on is they need to make this very push button slide out come out. Other than that, you ain't getting this shit out. You're gonna freak out trying to get this thing out because it's not gonna come out very easily. And I believe this is I mean, if you were to pull this cable out, it probably, measure somewhere around 6 foot. It's a 6 foot cable. It's pretty good. And then it comes with a really long 9 foot cable, which is really awesome for watching movies on because watching movies on this thing is amazing. Um, the sounds and everything that come through are just fantastic. All right, so let's get this here. Let's talk about some stuff. It comes with that cable, the one that's coiled like a phone, and it comes with a straight one that's like 9 foot. That's awesome. It's really really cool. The cables they feel not so bad. They don't feel so cheap. They feel somewhat good. Um, they come with a extra set of heads pads, which by the way, getting these pads on and off if you don't know how to do it is it's a little bit of an adventure. Zach, it's a little bit of an adventure getting these on and off if you don't understand how to put these on. There's a little notch on the headset. When you pull it off, you slip that onto the notch and then roll it real tight by pushing down on it to slide it all the way around until it tightens up and it makes full circle. Really, really tight. Clearances are extremely slim. So getting these on and off, if you don't know how to do it, just watch a video because the instructions are horrible. But yeah, you have to really keep your thumb pressing it down all the way around like this. All the way around till it tightens up, locks up, and then gets this rim all the way within that notch, and then you're good. But these are analyticals. These are analyticals versus dynamic. I don't know why. To be honest with you, I don't know why they say these are just like the analytical sounds. And you can see where the difference is. The difference really is within the maybe slightly less padding, maybe. But there's holes in the backside of this that allows air to pass through it, or the sounds to pass through more. There's like holes all the way around the dynamic. So there's like five, I'd say about 3 times as many holes as this one. A lot of holes. So you get a lot more sound coming through those holes. They call them dynamics, but they just sound better to me. I don't know why anybody would listen to analytical, oh my God, listen to those sounds. Oh, so analytical. It takes away the bass range, really. That's what it does. It just drops the bass range down. I don't know why anybody would do that. Okay, so I'm going to talk about something that you usually don't see on these videos. Is I paid $60 for these. Okay, paid $60 for sheepskin headphone ear pads to go on these headsets. Okay. And I loved my clothes back. I have some clothes back. These will actually fit the 990s that are in my drawer here. The 990s Pros. Okay, so these 990 Pros, this will fit on there, which I have not tried yet. Which I would consider doing. They what they did was they quieted everything and it almost sealed off in my ear a lot of the sounds. It felt like it took away some of that open back feel that it did have, and it got hotter too with the sheepskin. Um, and you could notice there is a considerable size difference in the hole here. I don't know if you can see it, but these are actually smaller inside, which I don't recommend these for the 1990s at all. They made my closeback Steel Series Pros sound better than what I had. Um, they just they made them sound better. They were closed back. They sounded great. They were $30, and I wouldn't trade. I wouldn't go back to those cloth uh, ear pads that I was seeing over on the Steel Series. The sheepskins were so much better. These are not. This actually made my headset sound worse. It kind of. I thought that the bass range would come up a lot more and it would sound great, but it just totally. It just took away every bit of what made that headset amazing and took it away. And so I can't explain it. The airiness and the distance that you get is completely gone, and that's one of the biggest and best attributes of the 1990s. So, but it comes with this badass case. Look at this case it comes with. It comes with a real nice. I don't know if it's a leather or not, but it feels good. It feels like a leather. Whether it is or not, I don't know. But it's a real stiff case, really nice. You take these, and it comes with a little packet in there where you can put your cables in. Good luck getting your cables back in outside the package, and they come like they're trying to protect the cables from AIDS, and you gotta really unzip. You got a lot of work to get those cables unpackaged because they wrap it around the ends and tape it off. You got to use a pair of scissors and pray to God you don't cut your cable and all that. But anyway, um, as far as that goes, the case is awesome. The build quality is awesome. Everything that comes with it, cable wise, I would say is pretty top notch. BeyerDynamics knows what they're doing. Sound quality wise, if you don't have an amplifier for this, you might as well give it up. If you don't have an amplifier for this, they make a Sound Blaster Pro 32-bit system that you can get. That's really awesome. It's like 100. I got it on sale for like $129 during Christmas. I know that it usually retails 140 or 159, but you can get it as much. It might be 139 right now. Okay, so it goes on sale and you can pick it up. But best little device ever. It's got a little bi-amplifier and it's 32-bit processor. Anyway, you need something like that. It's external USB. You need something minimum like that to drive these. They require a lot more power. They're 250 ohms, so they require a lot more power than your normal, just low resistance headsets. Like your AKGs, you could probably put into a cell phone and it'd work and sound good. These you cannot. 250 ohm. They take a little bit more power to run these, so you need something that's pretty good amplifiers, like what I mentioned. Or if you see in the image below here, you'll see that I have the SH9 and the SU9 32-bit DAC stack with an amplifier that's THX certified. Sounds fantastic. If you know anything about THX certifications, I mean, it just means that it's ridiculous low distortion that you can't hear. So you can crank it all the way up, and you won't even hear a hiss. There won't be any hiss at all. No white noise, no nothing. Uh, this headset was made in Germany. I've had a lot of German-made speakers in the past. I love it. My MB Quartz back in the day from from Germany. Several different German-made speakers that were awesome. These sound fantastic. What they're meant for is to give you a sound quality that was meant to be heard as if you were in the studio. Um, Basically, this headset will literally test the limitations of whatever you're listening to. Like one of the coolest thing is as I use this for gaming, and in Warzone, I've used some headsets in the past that where like my Astro A40s that I had, um, I was getting rolled on badly, badly in Warzone. I even had high boost on and everything else. I did everything I could to get the sound to come through for the footsteps. I couldn't get it. Nothing I did was good enough to get the sound for the footsteps on the Astro A40s. I was like, what the hell? I can't hear these people. They're just rolling on me. Like it just boom, they're on top of me. Then I went to the Steel series and did some adjustments. Got the 24-bit DAC. That one has a 24-bit DAC on it, and through PC I could use it through 24-bit. It's a lot more sound information within the volume. It's not necessarily a higher volume. It's just more information within the volume. So the headset, when I switched over to the Steel series, I could hear them. I was like, ooh, man, that's pretty good. Close back. I could actually hear them rolling on me and where they were going, and it was pretty neat. And then I thought, well, you know what? I don't. Why am I dealing with gaming headsets? I got a microphone set up here. I've got everything I need to step away from these so-called gaming headsets. And so I bought this BeyerDynamics headset, the 1990s first, and I used it on the 32-bit DAC with Sound Blaster Pro. And this shit changed my world. When I heard these for the first time, I mean, it was like echolocation. It was just, and the thing is, all right. So the one thing that I had to do with the closed back uh, Steel Series Pros is I had to like adjust the curve and make it set up for just listening to footsteps. And to be honest with you, the audio experience was trash. Like the audio experience to do that was absolute garbage. It just didn't sound good. The bass was just you didn't have any bass. It was just all like mid range and highs, just so that way you could hear these footsteps in Warzone. And it wasn't a good listening experience. Then I switched over to these, and let me tell you, when I switched over to these, I was listening to everything. I could hear everything. Like I could hear all of the bass. I could hear all of the sounds. It was like you couldn't get away with shit. But it was like having a closed back. Very similar. Even though it's an open back headset. It was giving me a lot of that closed back feeling for gaming. And I almost felt like it wasn't fair. I was like, oh my God, this headset's not fair. And okay, so I could hear a pretty great distance out from where they were coming, and I got the good sound quality and this and that. And here's the difference between that $160 headset and this one. Hello, this is Di. Welcome to the chat. The difference between that $160 headset and this $500, well, $600, but you can get it on sale for $525. I bought it for $525. The difference between that one and this one, not only was this, and I don't know why, because they're both the same resistance, maybe just slightly different driver. This was not only louder than that one there, but this thing told me and showed me the exact limitations of the developers within the game. That's how accurate this headset is. I discovered with this headset how far away I could hear, and then it just stops. It literally, you could see them go to a distance, you could hear them, see them, and gone. No sound. Like there was zero sound. You could tell the exact moment when they hit that circle of sound that you're within, that it was gone. No sound whatsoever. Most sounds, how they work is you'll hear that, you'll hear the dissipation of sound, or the anticipation of sound coming closer. You'll get the pitter patter and reflection of sound from buildings, which they didn't put in very well. They would do it within a distance, but after that, it's like gone. But if you're off at a distance and you're tromping around, the reflection of sound would come off the buildings to you. That doesn't exist. Okay, so that tells me that A, the developers didn't do anything with that distance, and B, that this thing right here could tell you the exact limitations of what they've done. So if you're playing Warzone with a headset like this, you know the exact moment that they hit that circle of sound. Your character, when you're in the game, you have a circle built around your character. And your character, the second somebody comes within the circle that they give you is when you can hear them. This thing, you can hear them hit that edge of the circle the second they hit that circle. Once they hit the circle, you know they're within that circle of sound, period. You know it. And it can be very, very loud. And when you play with this headset like this, and you've got the proper settings, it's overwhelming. If you thought that you had, when you put on a headset before, you're like, oh man, this is so good. Like I can hear their footsteps. No, you can't. You thought that was overwhelming. This shit is crazy, because the second that they hit that sound barrier, you hear everything. And if you're playing in multiplayer, or if you have a lot of enemies around you, you may not know how to process that sound. There's so much of it, and it's so loud compared to anything that you've ever heard. So fantastic for footsteps and listening. Now just for music and listening levels, fuck man, you could talk all day about that. It's just when you put these kinds of headsets on and you listen to it and you hear it for the first time, you just go, wow. These are the first words that you'll probably say out of your mouth when you put these on a THX certified amplifier with a 32-bit DAC, and you plug it into your computer and you listen to some music that you've never heard before, or you've been listening to for your whole life. Whether you've never heard it before or music you've heard your whole life, you listen to it with a headset like this, and the first fucking thing that comes out of your mouth will be, wow. Wow. Or, I've never heard that before. I've listened to this music for decades, and I've never heard that before. I've never heard that little sound in there. I didn't know that there was a third voice in that, what I thought was a duet was actually a trio, and you could hear that low bass voice in there that you didn't know. You didn't know even existed within your music. So that's what this headset does. That's what this headset will do for you. You put it on your headset, your head, and you're just listening, and you just go, wow. Wow, that's really good. That's the kind of response that you get from something like this. The footsteps are tremendous when they're around you. They're tremendous. It's all up in your ears. When you're listening to music, you hear sounds that you've never heard before. And then also when you're watching movies, get out of here, cats. Get. You'll hear things in movies that you didn't even realize existed. Like I was watching Dexter, and it was during like a quiet scene, just a TV show. And it was a quiet scene where nobody was talking, nobody was doing anything, and then all of a sudden it's like nobody's here. It's only two people, and nobody's supposed to be around. Why am I hearing some noise in this? And I had to sit there and think about it. I was like, is that what I'm really hearing right now? This headset was so good. The 1990s were so good that when I was watching Dexter, I could literally hear the directors and people that were recording the show, I could hear their footsteps shuffling around in the background as they were being quiet. The microphones were picking up shuffling of their feet all around in the scene when it was supposed to be a quiet scene, and I don't think they realized that had happened. You could hear the ceiling fan above you as if you're in the room. You're just sitting there and you're like, man, I feel like I'm in the office because I got this motherfucking ceiling fan above me, like it's going off, and you know it's a ceiling fan. It's very apparent. You know what a ceiling fan sounds like, so you know. Down. My cats are driving me nuts. But anyway, yeah, that's the end of this video. I just want to put this up. I know that this isn't a conventional YouTube video. I'm just sitting here rambling, talking about a headset. Look, if you want to spend the money, you can spend the money for $160 for, or usually on sale. You can find it for about 140. Best I've ever seen is 120. Get a 32-bit DAC and amplifier by Sound Blaster Pro. It's the X6, I believe, and you need that to drive something like that if you want to spend the money. So you've got $525 here, and then you got another anywhere between $120 and $160 depending on whether it's on sale. Now, what I have here, what it's driving on is this is about a $750 stack. It's the SU9, it's the SH9, it's a 32-bit DAC. That basically it's a digital analog converter. You plug it in through USB. You've got, you know, optical. You've got RCA inputs. I'm using XLR right at the moment, left and right balance. It's a really badass setup. Anyway, it's going to cost you about $750 after taxes. And that's and you put it on one of these, and it's just like blah. It's just sex in your ears. It's amazing. But yeah. Anyway, that is the conclusion of the video for YouTube, and I'm going to stop recording. Thank you for stopping by, and like and subscribe.